Good morning, everyone. Today I am taking a new topic from my subject Language Across the Curriculum. The topic is language as a tool of communication. As we all know that communication is a social affair. No group or organization can exist without communication. Communication includes all the ways which we can use to let other people know and share their thoughts, feelings, knowledge, views, and share their experiences. The purpose of this sharing is to produce a degree of experiences. So, I'm going to start with this topic, language as a tool of communication. We know that English word communication is not a single word. It is the word which is the combination of two words, and it is derived from Latin language communis and communicare, which means to share. Communication process whose purpose is not merely imparting meaning to the receiver but also to receive feedback after understanding the meaning from the receiver. Now, what is the meaning and definition of communication? The communication is a two-way process wherein the message in the form of ideas, thoughts, feelings, opinion is transmitted between two or more persons with the intent of creating a shared understanding. There are so many n number of definitions for communication. I have chosen two definitions. One is given by Edgar Dales and another is given by Mauritius. According to Edgar Dale, sharing of ideas and feelings in a mood of mutuality is the communication. And according to the Maris, a process of mutual exchange of thoughts, ideas, facts, and emotions. There are some features of communication. The first is communication is a process. Why we are calling it communication is a process? Because it includes various steps and a source and the person who will receive that message through that communication. That's why communication is a process. Communication is a continuous and endless process. Obviously, communication is a continuous process which starts when the person learns the language and it keeps on going endlessly. It is a purposeful process. Why communication is a purposeful process? Because no one communicates without any purpose. Even though I am communicating something right now to my students, that means I am also comprising or consisting some purpose behind it. My purpose is to make them understand the syllabus of my subject and to enable them to communicate their understanding to me and wherever they'll go. It is a universal process. It is a universal process because communication is not meant to a particular country or a state or a place. It is found everywhere in the whole universe. Communication may be direct and indirect. Direct communication is the face-to-face interaction when the two people are sitting in front of each other. An indirect process is the communication when someone is not in front of you, but maybe you are talking to that person on a phone, through chat or video conversation, etc. Communication is the process which may be verbal, may be non-verbal, and through sign language. People are communicating with each other verbally or orally. Non-verbal process, that means the communication may be in the form of written, and the sign, that means it is in the form of sign language. That sign language might be used by the person who are unable to speak. They communicate with the people through the sign language or different signs. You may also found so many signs and symbols while moving on road and while traveling. So these symbols or signs help you out to know how to move and what are the rules and regulations which we have to follow. Communication is a social phenomena which require to go more person. It is a social phenomena because I have already said this thing before, that it is a social affair, because we live in a society where the two people communicate with each other for fulfilling their needs. That's why communication is a social phenomenon. It includes both transference and understanding of meaning. Transference means the knowledge is transferred from one person to another. And understanding of meaning, it is not merely to transfer the knowledge but also to understand the meaning contained in that knowledge. Without meaning, the transference of knowledge does not have any meaning. It is based on mutual understanding because the communication occurs between two persons, so obviously it is based on the mutual understanding of those two. Perfect communication is never achieved in practice. We all are in the phase of learning. We all are on the path of perfection, but we all are not perfect. Each and every day we learn something from other people, or we learn something by reading or by writing something. So that's why we are not having the perfect communication, but we are trying to achieve the perfectness in our communication. Next, we move towards the purpose of communication. We know that communication is a purposeful act, and without any purpose, we do not establish communication. So, what are the main purpose of communication? So, first one is to exchange ideas, views, feelings, etc. We always want to express our views, our feelings to someone else or to our loved ones. So, it is also one of the important purpose of communication. It is basis for planning and decision making. If we want to plan something, if we want to take some decision, then also we need communication. To organize resources effectively. Whatever the resources of communication we are having, we need to organize them effectively, then only it works. Communication is also having a very important purpose to motivate people, so they perform well. If being a teacher in a class, if I motivate my students through the communication, definitely their performance or their achievement level will enhance. To facilitate coordination, if I need coordination, if I need cooperation from someone else, or I need to establish or to bring this feeling in my students, then also I require communication. To control people, if I want to maintain discipline in my class, if I want to control over my students, then also I need to establish communication with them, so they'll understand my instructions and they will listen to me carefully, so they act accordingly. To maintain public relations, professionally and personally, we go at so many places, we meet with the different people, and if we want to establish relationship with them, I need to communicate with them. So communication helps me out or helps everyone to maintain their public relations. Communication also helps in smooth and efficient working of an organization. In an organization, if we follow hierarchy, then we have so many people, those under whom we are working, and there are so many people, those who are working under our supervision or our directions. So if we want that we all work in a very smooth and efficient manner, then it is very essential that we all need to have proper communication amongst us. Now next is elements of communication. Communication process. There are 5 elements of communication process, and these 5 elements are as follows. The first one is the sender or the source. Sender or the source means the one who is a speaker, communicator and writer, who wants to convey or transmit a message is a sender or the source. Sender has to encode the message which can be understood by both the sender and the receiver. The encoded message may be affected by 4 conditions. First is skill, second is attitude, third is knowledge, and fourth is the socio-cultural system. These 4 conditions affect the sender or the source of message. Second element of communication process is message. Message can be oral or can be written. For example, speech, writing, movement of arms, painting, symbols, etc. Third element is channel. Channel means how we communicate or what media we are using for communication. A proper medium or a channel is required for imparting message to receivers. For example, computer, TV, radio, telegram, etc. Use of suitable channel enhances effectiveness of the message selected by senders. Suppose in our classroom and we are teaching through lecture method. But to enhance the effectiveness of lecture method, if I also use PowerPoint presentations or projectors to deliver my content to my students, it will definitely enhance the effectiveness of communication. Next is decoding. Decoding is the process in which receivers try to extract the exact meaning from encoded message to his complete understanding. Decoding is a process where if sender sends something to the receiver try to understand the message sent by the sender and what exactly the message conveys to him or her. And the last element of the communication process is feedback. It is the final step of communication. It can be verbal, non-verbal, and can be in the form of reports, etc. Feedback is very essential in the teaching learning process because getting the feedback from the students, teacher got to know that what is the success rate of her teaching or the communication in the class. If she feels that communication requires some improvisation or it requires some more efforts from the side of the teacher can bring those changes or necessary modifications into her teaching learning process. So feedback definitely helps a teacher and as well as the students to enhance their performance or to achieve to know the percentage of their achievement of their goals. Thank you.